For a lot of us, online shopping is the way to go. But if you're an avid online shopper, you know sometimes what you buy doesn't work out for one reason or another. And that means it's time to return it. The thought of returning it can make a lot of us groan. It can be a hassle, but it doesn't have to be. WCNC Charlotte's Meghan Bragg spoke to the Better Business Bureau on how to make the process as easy as possible.
Tom Bartholomew with the Better Business Bureau joining us now. Tom, the first step of the return process is actually before you even buy the product. And what should we be checking for in the return policy?
Yeah, it's really important because you're right. That way there's not going to be any surprises. What you're going to have to deal with if it isn't just the perfect item that you thought you were getting, and it's that whole realm is changing. It used to be pretty liberal that, everything was free shipping to return and no restocking fees. That's changing, especially on Amazon. When you're buying something directly from Amazon.com and it's an Amazon product, yes, you're still going to be under their return policies, and their return policies are still pretty liberal. But if it's a third party on Amazon.com, you need to look at that when you're checking out to see what their return and refund and exchange policy is. It's interesting. The law says, federal law says, every retailer has to have a refund and exchange policy, but it can be whatever they want it to be. They just have to communicate that to you up front. And then it's up to us as consumers to inform ourselves of what those rules are so that when it comes time to return and there's all of a sudden we've got to pay for shipping it back, and there's a restocking fee too. If that's what you agreed to in the terms and conditions, that's what you have to abide by.
And I know for me, when I get a package, I'm so excited. I rip it on open, I throw everything everywhere. But can you explain to us why you kind of have to keep that packaging intact?
Yeah, and that's part of their terms and conditions, especially if it's like a new smartphone or something like that. If it mandates that the original must be returned in its original packaging, that's what you got to do. Some of them even go even further and say it can't even be opened. You can't open that smartphone to check it out and see if it's what you really wanted. You'd want to know that before you make that purchase, because if you open that box and say, this isn't it, you're stuck. You can be stuck with all sales final, no refunds, no exchanges.
And if someone is having trouble in the return process, what should they do?
I'd go to bbb.org. It's one of our most complained about things is refund and exchange policies. And if there's a retailer that's not abiding by their own policy, we'll get after it.
Awesome. Tom Bartholomew with the Better Business Bureau, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure thing.